Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, it's us again.
It is us. Who is us?
We're the Williams.
Yes, we are.
It's my lovely wife, Ramona.
Hello.
And my name is Wilbert,
Oh my God.
aka Will.
AKA Sir Burp a lot.
That's what happens when you eat a big meal.
Yeah, we had our favorite part two. We actually decided to go eat there again.
Yes, we did.
Today.
Yes,
and
we
even
did.
though we eat there every Saturday.
Yep. Every Saturday. It's always every Saturday's a day.
Oh.
So we're here with another edition of Love Unscripted. And so we want to say thank you once again for allowing us in your home and your time in the very moment, this very hour that you chose to listen to the Williams. And our topic today is a spinoff of part one and part two. This one is called The Impact of Tit for Tat. The impact of tit for tat.
In case you didn't hear it the first time.
The impact of tit for tat. I said it 3 times, right? Guess what? Part 3.
Part 3. Okay, I see where you went with that one. I was like, baby, they heard you the first time.
I'm trying to be clever here, guys. Well, we want to just say to you that, if you heard part one was kind of a negative take on tit for tat, which is the tit for tat that everybody knows.
Yeah, and we basically spoke about how there's no room in marriage for tit for tat, that negative, tit for tat, trying to get back at your spouse for something that they either said or that they did. And then we did
and we did part 2 of tit for tat, which is a flip of tit for tat part 1.
Yes.
So we went yin and yang, or good and bad. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, that'll work.
That works. So we looked at tit for tat in a positive light, where how if you are doing wonderful things, saying good things, being the best you for your spouse, it reciprocates from your spouse, and that kind of is a volley between the two of doing good for each other, loving on each other.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
A volley between the two.
And
the whole point of volleying is to keep it up, right?
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. And so this episode of Tit for Tat is the impact of tit for tat on your children.
And it came up last week when my husband was mentioning, how certain things have an impact on your children. And man, if we would have opened that up, it would have been a 40-minute video.
Probably so.
And so we said, hey, you know what? I think that's the perfect video for next week. And as promised, well, I don't know if we promised it, but we have decided to bring it back. And I'm, super, super excited for this one in particular. I really enjoyed last week because I think it's just something beautiful about being able to constantly do, positive things for your spouse. But then I love the children. But for real though, children are our future. They're innocent. They didn't ask to be here. And who they are, a lot of times their identity is shaped by their home experience, their home environment, what they see, what they hear, what they feel, and they internalize so much. They're resilient, and I don't think it's fair for, I'm on a small soapbox, so I'm just
keep going. You're doing great. I'm just chilling.
You want some popcorn, baby?
Yeah, give me some.
And
no,
children,
really, give me some. I was kidding.
Okay.
Okay.
So children are very resilient, and I don't think it's fair, because we know that they're resilient, that we subject them to certain things and expect them to deal with them, and then expect them to deal with them as if they're little adults. they're not little adults. They are children. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't hit certain developmental milestones, and it has an impact. The negative and the positive has an impact. I don't even think it's worth us talking about the negative things that will impact your child, but how about we talk about the positive things? You know, those positive things that happen in your marriage that can change the trajectory of your child in school, on the playground, how they interact with people,
Come on.
marriage relationship, a marriage relationship once they get to that point, friendship relationships. I mean, how they interact at school, who they are going to be when they are adults, because they get to experience something that sometimes we don't really get to experience, only because maybe the adults in our lives didn't know how to show certain, aspects that were positive that we could, you know, um, kind of benefit from, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So you need to ask yourself. There's a scripture. I would say, ask yourself, how do your children view you? How do they see you? Look at your life, your character, your personality. How you model yourself in front of your children? Do they see a positive dad? Do they see a positive mom? Do they see a negative dad or a negative mom? Negative being argumentative, negative being abusive, negative being maybe drunk, maybe someone that's always casting stones. Maybe, how do they see the mother? Someone that neglects the child, doesn't give the child that needed attention? Or do they see a loving mother, a loving and caring, nurturing mother, someone that they can look up to and want to be next to? You find children will isolate themselves from those things because they don't know how to handle them. Am I going the wrong direction?
No, I don't think you're going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, this is a great time, like, to continue that aspect of, the loving and nurturing. And are we specifically talking about the individual person, or are we talking about the marriage relationship?
Like, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, you look at how is the relationship? How is the communication of the parents? Do they?
Ooh, you have said hold on. The communication.
Yeah. How do you talk to each other?
Yes.
How are you demonstrating that to your kids?
Right.
Whenever you communicate, when the husband communicates with the wife or the wife communicates with the husband, do they see that model that they want for their household at some point in time when they are married, when they have kids? You're training a child. Train a child in the way they should go. And when they're old, they will not depart from it. How are you training your child? What kind of example are you giving for your child who's watching your every move, hearing your every word, and modeling your every movement?
Yeah.
It's amazing that, sometimes as parents we can get so into who we are as adults that we forget that there is a child.
Just threw my shoe.
That we forget that there is a child learning from us.
Ooh, which is, I want to say, one of our first ministries. If I can put it that way, because you when we are married and we have children, and like my husband was saying, like adulthood can or just life in general comes with so much stuff that sometimes we do forget. If we have little ones, that, I'm not just living my adult life, I am also training up this child. I'm a shaper. I am a life shaper in this moment. And one of the things I wanted to hit on that you said, communication is huge. You know, we talk about communication all the time. And to speak personally for a second, I love our communication growth. I think that's always been a strong area for us as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
But continuing, it grows every day, every day. And imagine your child being able to see you and your spouse evolve in such a crucial area. I mean, you need to communicate in every aspect of your life, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, let's say you're going to the gas station and you are paying for your gas at the cash register. You have to go and communicate that, hey, I want however much on pump, whatever much. And, do I say hello? Do I say thank you very much? Have a great day? It all ties in. How does that, so just to use that as an example, our children can take from us the best parts of us. Just like we know, we don't want to talk about the opposite of it right now, but they can take away the best parts of us. Hey babe, how was your day? Oh, it's so good to see you today. Welcome home. Have a good day as they're walking out of the door. Thank you so much for what you've done to me. That transfers over into other areas of their lives, which is important. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that once we decided to do this video, I thought about sometimes we struggle as adults because we didn't see certain things ourselves.
Absolutely.
We didn't experience things ourselves. But I would like to challenge you, if you didn't experience those things, let this be the moment. Let's say maybe, you're tuning into this video and don't even know why. I would like to say it as a challenge for you to say, you know what? I will no longer use what I wasn't taught or did not see in my own environment growing up as an excuse not to be a particular type of role model for my child. What I am going to do is today start saying, okay, God, how do I need to be for my child? How does my spouse and I need to communicate? How do we need to act? How do we need to show teamwork? How do we need to show perseverance, determination, working together? How we are coming together, working at this thing as a couple, and it is us, and we are making sure that we are handling our business. We are showing fortitude, we're showing trust and being trustworthy, so that our children are able to pick up on those same traits.
Absolutely.
And so, you know what, if it's not something that, you have experienced before, then guess what? You can take a moment, sit back, reflect, and here I'm going to put my dialogue plug in, which I do all the time. Maybe it's something that you and your spouse could have a conversation about, if you have children. Or if you don't have children, but it's something that you aspire to do one day, right, you can sit down and just write out some things that you would hope for your child to be able to see, because you are a shaper in that instance. So back to the couple who's already married, sitting down in the dialogue room, having a conversation between the two of you. What do we think our children see or our child sees when we interact, exactly, when we go about our day to day? And then what do we hope that they see? Mm-hmm. And then start working to the what do we hope if you're not fully what you want them to already see and experience.
Absolutely. So with that whole experience that you're providing for your child or your children, you think about, there's no rule book to being an adult. Mm-hmm. There's no rule book. A lot of it is trial and error.
That's good.
But you can at least, like what my wife's wearing today says, "Be kind." You are the book. You are the pages of a book that your children are reading as they grow up. The volume lasts, I mean, really a lifetime.
Yeah.
And as the days pass and the pages turn, what are they reading? What kind of information are you offering to your children? You know, is it information that causes them to grow into productive, loving, caring adults who will at some point in time find a loving, caring, productive spouse, or vice versa, or the opposite, or the negative tit for tat? Tit for tat impacts not only the relationship, but it impacts your children.
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to make sure that you are giving the right information. You are voicing the right kind of, words that your kids will remember. Because just like us, and I'm sure you remember some things particularly that your parents did growing up.
Yeah.
Some things particularly that your parents said growing up. Even at whatever age you are, you can say, "Oh, I remember my dad said this," or "I can remember my mom said this," or "I can remember my dad did this," or "I can remember my mom did this." And those will either come out either negative or positive. You will remember a great childhood or a bad childhood, but you remember. So as you grow together as a husband and a wife, remember, you're still teaching. For those of you that have children, you're still the instructor in the classroom, or you're still the pastor in the house, or you're still that educator of life for those that are watching you and learning what it takes to be that man or that wife that is ready for life.
Yeah, you know, when you were saying, you know, your child is basic, or your children are reading your book, you know, and I thought at the same time, as they're reading your book, they're writing their own based on your book. So they're taking all of that knowledge in, and it's just, you know, important. You think about it. You wouldn't give your child a R-rated book to read.
Come on.
Would you? So why would you offer? Oh, no. Let me. Okay, because I said I wanted to stick on the positive. You would give your child like a Disney, you know, book to read, right? A book that has a message at the end, and you know, where their imagination can run wild, and they can be creative, and they say kind words to each other. We know sometimes movies can, for even children, can be a little sideways.
Can I jump in there just for a quick second?
Because I do that to you all the time.
So, my wife said, your words. Think about everything you say to your child, everything you say around your child. You know, is it the right words? Because we can switch it up. Y'all know it. We can switch it up. But you have to ask yourself, when you switch it up, or when what you say comes out of your mouth, there's power. What you say that comes out of your mouth, there's life. And you know the scripture says the power of life and death is in the tongue. You can either build life, a great life for your child. It starts with you. It starts with us. It starts with that husband and wife. Or you can disrupt them in such a way to where it takes them on a path that's not productive. So as husband and wives, as parents, as mother and father, your responsibility is to be the best positive, light teacher, pastor, preacher, educator that you can be for your children.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I think just to wrap this up, I think we have said everything But I just want to say this last thing, how imperative I think it is. How imperative. You know, we put a lot of work into a lot of things, and you know, our children, the things that they like, being intentional about how we live our lives and interact as a married couple so that they can reap the benefit of it.
That's good.
And so just being intentional, and you think about it, in doing that work and being intentional for your children, you also become intentional for yourselves, you know, for your own marriage. You know, I mean, everybody reaps the benefit, you know, that positive tit for tat. When you're doing that, then your children get to see that. They get to experience it. And so you're, as a husband and wife, reaping the benefit of it, and your children are reaping the benefit of it. So you become full circle in a household that has just positive vibes radiating within your household on a continual basis.
Absolutely. So you're the book that they're reading. When we say hope to you all.
Wait.
Oh, huh?
At some point in every video, we always have to say, you're no longer.
Oh!
We have to say that.
That comes towards the end, though. You want to do it before that? And okay. So, like we said, you're no longer two, but you're one. Now we're gonna do this again. So you want to speak into your lives?
Yeah. So I just speak into your lives the ability to be able to give freely in love and abundance and grace towards your spouse, and the way that you communicate in such a way that it will overflow into your children.
Yes.
And not just overflow and just in there, but it will be over to the point of overflow to where it overflows from them as well, into their education, into their interactions with their classmates, to interactions with people in the neighborhood, and just wherever they go, that they're able to have a positive vibe and reap the benefits of being someone who has positive energy about them, and that when they go out to be adults, they are the most productive people who will then be used to change the world.
And so this also gives your son a blueprint by watching his mother, the kind of wife he wants to have. And this also gives your daughter a blueprint by watching her father for the kind of husband that she wants to have.
Yeah.
So we want to say hope to you all and blessings to you all. You're no longer two, but you're one.
Alrighty. Love you. Hey guys. Have a good one. That is it. Remember, Christmas is at the end of the year. Let's celebrate Thanksgiving. I had to throw that
Oh
in
my
there.
goodness. All right, she's on it.
Let's be thankful first.
She's advocating Thanksgiving, y'all.
Love you guys.
Peace out.
Take care.
Till next time.